Have you ever wondered what your favorite beauty influencer's eyeshadow collection looks like? Well, today I'm going to show you mine. For video purposes, let's pretend I'm your favorite beauty influencer.
Okay.
Now, I regularly swap out palettes that I have. Maybe they're old, expired, maybe they're brand new and I've never used them and I just want to give them away to someone. So I'm routinely changing out the eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. I'm guaranteeing there'll be more than a few that you're going to absolutely love. Let's get started. Whew, I'm gonna need some setting spray before we get into this. One moment. All right, let's start in my extras drawer. So this drawer is just palettes that I either have used, maybe once, swatched, or haven't used at all for one reason or another. This is the Enchanted Forest Multi-Dimensional Eyeshadow Palette. This is from Queen Cosmetics. These swatched so beautifully. I just haven't used this for a full look yet, just because I feel like I definitely need another palette to go along with this. Like this is definitely gonna be more like an auxiliary, like a secondary, like an additional palette when I'm using another palette to do a look. Did any of that make sense? Bushy cute. This is the CXC Beauty Louder and Prouder Eyeshadow Palette. Obviously, this is just your quintessential beautiful rainbow palette. Lots of shades to choose from. This is also from an indie brand, so definitely support. Okay, so this is the Glam Light X Michaela Eyeshadow Palette. I have not used this yet. I bought this with the intention of using it because obviously, as you can see, it's super beautiful. I just honestly put it to the side and haven't used it yet, but I definitely plan on giving it a try. Yes, I know I'm super behind, but one of these days, you'll have a review one of these days. Next is the Morphe X Abby Roberts Eyeshadow Palette. Not gonna lie, I had to Google and find out who Abby Roberts was. I had never heard of her before. She seems pretty cool. Again, this is a pretty standard rainbow eyeshadow palette, but this is cute. I just never used it just because I'm like, I have so many palettes that have every single one of these colors, so it's just kind of sat there. Next is the Morphe 35L Ultra Lavender Artistry Palette. Everything falls out when I open these bad boys up. This is so beautiful. This is a beautiful combination of those plums, the burgundy, the purple, the mauves. I think, did I say mauve already? I don't know, but if I did, whatever. If not, mauve. And then the browns at the bottom. I think this is a super beautiful palette. This palette specifically, I got in the midst of a bunch of PR being sent my way. And I'm not saying that in like an arrogant way. I just got a ton of product that week or two, and it just kind of fell to the side and I just didn't use it. Okay, we're gonna just try and speed through these because I have too many to just sit here and babble about every single one. So this is the Morphe 9G Sunrise Glow Palette, the Morphe 18W Natural Wonder Palette. Again, cute. Yes, these have like the same shades. This was the collaboration between Makeup Revolution and the School for Good and Evil. All these little covers fall out because I haven't used the palette yet. I really think this is so beautiful and I honestly still want to use this. I just haven't gotten around to it. Alrighty, these are my OG Makeup Geek Matrix palettes. So I had the Color Matrix palette and then I had the Neutral Matrix palette. The pops of color in this one are Power Pigments. I just took out some of the shades that were kind of redundant and replaced them with the colorful ones so that it was all in one. And then same thing over here. These are so beautiful. All these. The shimmers are honestly next level. They're so creamy. I miss Makeup Geek so much and I can't wait to see what Marlene Estelle has next for us. This is the Morphe 35U Gilded Desert. This is usually one of my go-to like take on the road palettes when I know I'm gonna need to do like just a traditional neutral glam kind of whatever moment. This is the one I take. I have a lot of Morphe, okay? This is the Morphe X Mickey and Friends palette. This is so cute. Again, there's a lot of overlapping shades when it comes to these rainbow Morphe palettes, but I'm not mad about it because they're so cute. So whenever you see this mirror, which is in like most of my videos, it came from that collection. The Morphe X Lisa Frank palette. I loved this so much when it came out. I created quite a few looks using this palette. Again, a lot of overlapping colors, but that's fine. And just so you know, most of my eyeshadow palettes don't look like they've even been used, even when I've used them like 20, 30, 40 times, because I'm very gentle with my makeup. I wanna make sure everything looks as nice as possible for as long as possible. So it's not like I'm just like, oh, this is my favorite, but I've never used it. I use them a lot. I'm just careful. Next we have the that was hella rude. Next we have the Sigma Corderosa palette. I loved this palette, especially that really beautiful burgundy red in the middle. So cute. Just so you know, I actually hate when brands send a little brush in with the palette because I'm never gonna use it. I'm just gonna use the brushes I have and I like, you know? This is the Makeup Revolution Glam Glow eyeshadow palette. I just thought this was so beautiful. I don't believe I've used this palette. Let me look at all the shades. No, I have not even swatched it. These are just so, so beautiful. Like, I don't want to use it because it's so beautiful. And like this is luxury to me. This is so cute. Like I know it's Makeup Revolution, so it's not luxury. It just looks luxury, okay? Okay, we have the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. I loved this palette when it came out. I created quite a few looks using this palette. Obviously, a lot of times they were the sunset or the sunrise vibes. Think orange, yellow, red. Think orange, yellow, purple. Like, did a lot of those. Loved it. No complaints. The Morphe 35S Sweet Oasis palette. Again, one of those palettes where there's a lot of overlapping shades, but I really, really gravitated towards this color story. I really love this section right here. I love blue. I love purple. I love pink. So to have those variations of those shades all in one palette was like chef's kiss.
Oh my God! Wow!
So this is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Strawberry Feels palette. I really love this, especially for like February type of eyeshadow looks. Think Valentine's Day, think stuff like that. I really, really love these colors, like especially down here at the bottom, these two. Really love this. I know this entire drawer seems like Morphe because it basically is. I actually have all my palettes organized for the most part. So like one drawer is like mostly all Morphe, one's like all Blend Bunny. So like that's why it's going in this order. So this is the Morphe 35T Sweetest Tea palette. Let me see, have I used this? Yeah, I've used like a couple shades, like this red here and the purple here, but overall I haven't used it too much, but I do think it's super beautiful. And last but not least from this drawer, we have the Morphe 35X Big Primpin' Eyeshadow palette. I actually use this a lot. This was my go-to eyeshadow palette for when I was traveling or needed to do some quick neutral like golden glam moments. This was my OG palette. Then I switched to that 35, I think, what is it, 35U palette that I showed you earlier, but this was my go-to. Really, really loved this collection. All right, so I have all the Blend Bunny palettes, but I'm not gonna just go Blend Bunny, Blend Bunny, Blend Bunny, Blend Bunny, say that 3 times fast.
Je m'appelle Claude.
Je t'appelle Blue.
In order, because then it's gonna get real boring real fast just because, so I'll try and skip around. But we will start off with the Blend Bunny palette. So this is the All Done Up palette. This has 20 beautiful shades. This is a great color story for those really sultry glam moments. You could definitely give a lot of fall vibes off with this palette. This is super cute. This is the CXC Beauty Ultraviolet Eyeshadow palette. This is so stunning because like I said, you know, I love purples and pinks. Yes, I still have the plastic on there because I forgot to take it off, like, sue me. I used this once so far, really, really loved it. I did create a dedicated eyeshadow tutorial using this palette. I think it's a YouTube short, so check it out. I think it'll say the name of this palette as the title, but loved this. Also, again, this is from an indie brand. Gobble gobble, motherfucker. This is the Makeup Revolution Friends palette, I guess. I just loved it because it's a turkey. I've never used it. I don't plan on using it, but it's so cute that I couldn't get rid of it because it's literally a turkey. This is the Blend Bunny Surge palette. This is my go-to palette for like fun, vibrant rainbow looks. Super cute. I love the added row of shimmers. There's neons at the bottom. It has everything you need for a super, super colorful look. This is the Makeup Revolution X The Simpsons palette. This is their Summer of Love eyeshadow palette specifically. They've done a couple collaborations with The Simpsons, but again, this is specifically the Summer of Love palette. This is super cute. I have never used this. I planned on using this like many others. I just haven't gotten around to it. Next, we have the CXC Beauty Absolutely Essential eyeshadow palette. This is such a beautiful palette. This is gonna be perfect for those fall-inspired looks. Think soft glam, think even more intense golden glam, smoky eyes. You could do a really beautiful brown smoky eye. There's just a lot of versatility in the shades because you have the reds, you have the mauves, you have the burgundies, you have the darker browns here at the bottom, you have the lighter shades here at the top. This one I actually took the plastic off. You can just still see the indents of the shadows. This is the Blend Bunny Allure palette. This is literally my perfect color story. The pinks, the purples, the blues. This is phenomenal. This is the Blend Bunny Primal palette. This is so beautiful. Again, this is like a revved up version of the original Blends palette, which I'll show you next. Plus it has the added pans down here at the bottom, the white and the black, so you can deepen or brighten up a lot of shades, a lot of looks, add dimension. Just there's a lot of variety that can come out of just this palette. So this is the Blend Bunny palette that started it all, took the internet by storm. It literally revolutionized the beauty community. I swear to God, like you're like, Cody, it's just a rainbow palette. It's not just that. The formula is incredible. It's from a female-owned indie brand, which is so important to me. The layout, the aesthetic, just the ease of use is so perfect. The way the colors are grouped together so that you can easily just pick and be like, oh, I want like an orange-red moment. Here's a quad. If you want a green and yellow moment, here's a quad.
What?
What?
So it's like everything is meticulously put together with so much thought. So it's such a beginner-friendly palette. There's just so many ways, whether you're going across, whether you're going up and down, like there's so much to this palette, even though you might think it's just like a simple palette. It's not. Next is the Ofra Cosmetics X Allie Dawson 89 palette. Y'all know Allie Dawson as an amazing beauty creator. She's also my long form video editor now and my thumbnail artist. So like, hello, props to her. If you love my videos, if you love my thumbnails, that's because of her. Just so you know, I do jump in and edit some of my own videos from time to time. This will probably be one of those ones, but when you see like super, super fun videos, they're her. But anyway, this is a super cute palette. My favorite shades are definitely all the ones at the top row, especially the blue down here, that mint. I think that's so cute. Next is the Blend Bunny The Dollhouse palette. This is is your perfect go-to palette for think bridal glam, think soft glam. There's a lot of versatility out of this palette as well. There's a lot of versatility with all Blend Bunny palettes, but this one specifically because obviously you have a lot of your neutral shadows, you have your more toned down, there's a lot of cool tones, but then you can deepen it up with these like berry tones right here. You have a dark brown, a full row of shimmers at the bottom. You actually have another full row of shimmers at the top. So like just the shimmers alone, you can really change up your look just using one palette. So I really recommend this palette. Side note, if you want to, because I'm talking about them a lot, you can use code Cody Jay for 10% off of all your Blend Bunny cosmetics purchases. I do get a small commission from that, just so you know. Okay, I promise I only have a couple left.
3 hours later.
This is the Nomad Cosmetics Paradise Islands palette. This is so fun. I think Nomad Cosmetics is definitely like at the forefront of indie brands when it comes to packaging and design elements and just the fun whimsicality of their eyeshadow palettes. All the themes are very specific. The indents are super cool. I think the color stories are super fun. Like it's just such an experience. Next is Blend Bunny Cosmetics Sugar and Grunge palette. This is more of a recent palette. This is super beautiful. I've done a lot of burgundy, pink, gold kind of looks using this palette. I don't typically gear towards pastels or lighter shades. I like more of like a intense moment, as you can see. But overall, this is a really beautiful palette. I think just in general, the combination of the color story, the product, the formula itself, the overall packaging, the experience, the text, the font, just everything. I think this is such a beautiful palette. Very timeless. This is my last Morphe palette, I swear. This is the Morphe X Pony Constellation Sky palette. Again, I had to like look up who Pony was. But this is super fun. I don't believe I've used this palette at all. I'm like looking at the shades. I've used Breathe right here at the top and that's it, I believe. But these are so fun. Overall, I thought this was just like such a cool looking palette. So interstellar. Okay, this is Blend Bunny Cosmetics Trove palette. This is actually a multi-chrome quad palette. You can see how the colors shift in the light. Super cute. This is really great as an addition to like any of your other eyeshadow palettes. And last, but most certainly not least, is actually my newest palette, and it's also the newest palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This is the Forget Me Not palette. This is actually a versatile eye and face palette. So this was designed so that you can actually use these shades for multiple things. So you could use some of these shades up here for brows or something like up here for brows. You have a line that's great for bronzing and contouring. You could use the black for eyeliner. You could use the black to deepen up some of these other shades. You have shimmers down here at the bottom. Well, they're shimmers, but they also can be used as a highlighter. The pink would be great for blush. The white you could use to brighten up some of your looks, blend out some of your harsher colors. You could also use it to brighten up your under eyes or your inner corner. There's just so many possibilities, and I honestly think this is such a cool concept. Whew. I need something to drink, my mouth is dry. But that is currently my entire eyeshadow collection. Like I said, I have a lot of palettes that come and go. I get a lot of new stuff from time to time. I buy a lot of new stuff from time to time. So I try my best to get rid of old products or products that have never been used. Like one day I gave away like 45 palettes, literally. So I'm trying my best. With that being said, I'd love to know if you've tried any of these palettes. Are any of these kind of like your go-to palettes? I'd also love for you to let me know in the comments below what are your favorite eyeshadow palettes. And of course, if there's anything that you think I'm absolutely missing out on and I need to try ASAP. But overall, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.